So I have a question. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? That's an expression that we all know, and it's debatable with many people. I believe that the chicken comes first because God created chickens, not eggs. But anyway, in the case of joy and peace, happiness, do we have to be well first in order to have them? If you're like me and you've been dealing with health issues for a long time and they've become chronic, I think a lot of us end up having depression and struggling a lot with maintaining joy and any kind of happiness or peace because we're in survival mode. So it's really hard. I've often said to my husband, who has always felt really well until recently, it's a lot easier to feel joyful and happy when you feel well physically. But when you don't feel well, it's a lot harder to be happy and joyful. So my question is, do we have to wait to be well in order to be joyful and happy and peaceful? I don't think we do. And with the brain retraining programs, I'm doing DNRS, Dynamic Neural Retraining System, but there's Gupta and there's other ones. And there's other teachings out there about rewiring the brain and neuroplasticity that maybe aren't formal programs, but that's what they teach, is that we need to elevate our mood in order to be well physically. So if we've been waiting around and working hard to try to get physically well, thinking that, oh, maybe I'll finally be happy or have some joy or peace in my life if I'm well, then we may have an awful long wait. I watched a video yesterday about retraining the brain, and the guy that was talking about it said basically that it's the joy and the peace and happiness that we create and learn to find when we elevate our mood intentionally. It's getting ourselves into that state that will actually bring about the healing. Now, I've been doing the DNRS program for almost 6 weeks. It'll be 6 weeks tomorrow. And they teach that we need to elevate our mood throughout the day, whether it's watching funny videos, listening to music, going for a walk, dancing, whatever will help you feel happier. And I've been doing that. But I guess I didn't really understand that elevating the mood, bringing your system into that state of joy, actually is part of the healing process, because our system heals in that state. We have all been stuck in this fight, flight, freeze mode, which is survival mode. And when you're in survival, your brain doesn't have time to make sure you're happy or healed. It's just sending messages to your arms and legs so you can run fast, so you can fight or flee. You know, it takes the energy away from your digestion and joy centers and all that kind of stuff because you just have to survive. Well, when you're stuck in that, and it's not actually an emergency situation, but your brain is stuck there, you're in survival mode all the time. And that's when the body starts to break down and we end up in the conditions that we're in. But that's why it's so important that part of healing, a huge part of healing, is to actively, purposely elevate our mood. Excuse me. So, you know, one of the things they say is think higher than you feel. So we have to push ourselves and make ourselves smile and laugh and be goofy and throw your arms up in the air and say, I feel amazing, yay, and do all these crazy things that feel uncomfortable to our brain because our brain's like, what are you doing? You don't really feel that way. Why are you pretending, being stupid? But it does help because when I started the program, I was depressed. I was waking up every morning very down and very anxious and didn't have a whole lot of joy. But I've been doing this, elevating my mood, and I definitely noticed a difference in my mood. And people have even been noticing a difference in me because I've had several people in the past week say, wow, you look good. And I think it means that they're seeing some joy. I don't feel it all the time, but I'm noticing longer periods of feeling more joyful. I'm noticing that I'm laughing easier, getting out of a bad mood quicker, you know. So I also wanted to share a few Bible verses. I don't know where they're located, but where, you know, God talks about this stuff in the Bible. There's a merry heart does good like a medicine. But the other part of the verse, a broken spirit dries up the bones. Well, I have advanced osteoporosis, which I believe is going to be restored through my brain changing. That's another story, but a merry heart does good like a medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. God says that in his word. There's another verse that says, a peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. I mean, that's pretty profound. When my heart is peaceful, my body will gradually become healthy. And then there's also a verse where God says, seek peace and pursue it. He actually tells us to seek peace because God created us. He knows how we function. He knows how we're built. He knows how the brain works. He knows how the heart works. And he knows how all those things are connected and affect our health. There's also scripture that says, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. And that's a hard one because we don't feel like rejoicing when life is crappy. We don't feel like rejoicing when we don't feel well. But God's saying that for a reason. And it lines up with these programs of brain retraining. They're saying, think higher than you feel, act better than you feel. And God's saying, rejoice in me always. And again, I say rejoice. Give God thanks in all situations. And the program is saying, be grateful, be thankful, even when you don't feel well. act like you do. And the Bible's saying the same thing. I find that fascinating. Yeah, so mood, attitude, joy, happiness, peace, those things, if we can elevate our mood and live more in joy, peace, gratitude, and thanksgiving, changing our state with elevating our mood is a huge part of the healing itself. So we cannot wait to be healed in order to be happy. We have to be happy in order to be healed, because chemically in our bodies we need those happy hormones, that chemistry, that what do they call it in DNRS, that something chemistry, chemistry, the happy stuff. No, is that the bad? I don't know, it doesn't matter. But anyway, we change the body's chemistry with our emotions. So it's so important to keep that mood elevated regardless of how horrible we're feeling. We have to smile and force joy. There's another expression they use, I have it written on my wall: fake it until your brain becomes it. Most of us have probably heard the one, fake it until you make it. My dad used to say that, fake it until you make it. But we need to fake it until our brain becomes it. So it does feel weird, to make myself smile and, oh my gosh, I'm so happy, woohoo, yay. But I don't know, it does something in your brain, and then you're signaling your brain, and your brain's going, oh, I thought we were depressed, but I guess not, because she's smiling and she's dancing and she's being thankful and stuff. So maybe I'll send out some happy chemicals, and so it makes sense, and give it a shot, because I'm definitely seeing a difference for myself. So thanks for watching. Get yourself happy today, elevate your mood, get that good chemistry going, and let your body rest and restore and be joyful. Have a great day.